So I just got done testing out all of the Tour Series destroyers for the 2025 lineup. I got a couple good rips with everything here, so I feel like I got a good handle on what to expect out of all these discs. Starting out with the ever so pretty Calvin Heimberg Halo Star Destroyer. And I think this is probably gonna feel pretty similar if you've thrown some Heimberg destroyers in the past. This is a good feeling destroyer as far as we've got that nice little slight concave wing on here. Nice beefy feel in the hand, and this is probably the most overstable of the bunch. One that I can really force over to a nice flat throwing angle and know it's got the stability that it's gonna wanna fight out of it. Really, for me, this grip of the plastic is where I know this disc is going straight into my bag. I need an overstable destroyer, so I'm gonna want something like this that I can get a real nice grip on, rip into it with full power, and know that it's always gonna have that fight back at the end to crash down to the left. So really trusty. We were throwing it in some headwind here. We had good 15, 20 mile an hour headwind for some of the shots where we were coming down. And I was trying to throw this thing nice and flat every single time it was trying to work back out. So I know that's gonna be a good, trusty, reliable destroyer. And then we've got the Ohn Scoggins Halo Champion Destroyer. Now, Halo Champion, that's something, as soon as I pick that up, I'm picturing this is gonna be a very beefy disc, just like the Calvin Heimbergs. What I'm finding here is a little bit softer feel in the flight plate compared to what I've thrown in the Halo Champion lineup before. So just getting that nice little flex. Same thing here, I'm feeling like this is a nice stable destroyer, but I was surprised at how much good glide I was getting out of this. This was not a disc that's crashing hard out of the air. It was kind of giving me a little bit of flip up when I'm throwing them with some good full power. So getting a lot more distance out of this disc than I would have thought originally. So this is one I'm definitely gonna be throwing around a little bit more, try to find that spot. This could be like that number 2 slot in my destroyer lineup where I can sometimes have 3 or 4 different destroyers in the bag. This is not quite as overstable as that Heimberg one, but I can still trust it into a headwind. I'm just gonna get a little bit of extra glide and carry out of this, so very surprisingly pleased with how this thing flew for me. Like I said, a little bit softer flight plate than some of the other destroyer variations that are out there, but not so flexible that it's gonna give way. So great grip on it, good flight, very good disc. We've got the Henna Destroyer. Very good Halo Star Proto Glow Destroyer here. Compared to the other ones I was throwing, this one has less dome to it. Nice flat top feel, really like the feel of that for those sidearm shots. Proto Glow Halo Star. From what I've seen, every disc I've thrown in the Innova lineup that is Proto Glow Halo Star has got just kind of a nice mellow feel to it. It's not gonna be that big overstable beefcake destroyer. Definitely one that I'm gonna get a nice little glide, even a little bit of turn in the flight. It's gonna carry you for some good distance. Like I said, a little bit flatter on top compared to some of the others. Proto Glow has that really good grip and feel in the hand, so definitely like this thing. I think I was maxing these things out about the same distance as like the Ohn Halo Champion Destroyer. If you like that star and that Proto Glow, this is very similar and a little bit less dome on that. All 3 of these models are gonna be the max weight, so 173 to 175 gram. So Henna, Calvin, and Ohn all maxing out at the 175 weight. So if you like a heavy destroyer, this is probably the way to go. That brings us to the Philo Swirly Star Destroyer with a little bit of that heartbeat dome on it. Really nice feel. Just like you would expect from something with that kind of dome, the glide on these things is great. I was really liking how these would flip up, carry a nice straight line, have a little mellower fade to it. Lighter weight disc, so 165 to 169 gram. This is gonna give us a little easier throw compared to some of those max weight destroyers. So definitely more of the everyman destroyer in my opinion. This is something that almost anybody could grab, get a nice flight out of it. Still gonna have that dependable fade on the end of it, but I can really get that flip up distance on it, which I love out of a destroyer. I'm not trying to work any harder than I have to get distance. So this is gonna be probably that number 3 slot in my bag, something that acts like it's kind of broken in straight out of the box. So if you like a nice domey version of a destroyer and a lighter weight, that's your moneymaker. I'm gonna go ahead and call this the unsung hero of the day. This Brathwaite destroyer, lightweight, 156 to 159 gram, these baby destroyers. I gotta be honest, I wasn't thinking that a 159 gram destroyer was gonna be the hero, but I am amazed at how well this thing flies. I was throwing full power shots into headwind, and I was seeing the durability and stability still holding up. These aren't flipping over. Still flies great like a destroyer, trusty, but I mean, it was leaving my hand 5 miles an hour faster than every other destroyer I threw. So carrying a little bit further, you know, maybe a little touchier into a headwind. So, you know, pick your battles, find the wind that's facing the right direction for you, but really, really happy with how these things were flying for me. So I'm gonna throw this straight into my bag. Sorry guys, this is now my destroyer, but really liking how this is gonna give me some extra distance. So comparison-wise, between all 5 destroyers I've got here, I can see where each one is gonna kind of fill a different slot for me, different jobs. As far as if I need something that's just gonna bomb and go far, fly fast out of the hand and glide long in the air, I'm reaching for the Brathwaite guy. This thing is gonna be a workhorse as far as getting that pure max distance on an open fairway. Really like how this kind of more mellow Proto Glow version has a little bit of stand up and then a nice straight finish. So that's kind of fitting into that kind of neutral middle destroyer slot. And then I can kind of pick between the rest of these. That Philo destroyer, again, being a little bit lighter weight, is gonna be one that's a little easier to throw. It's gonna give you a little more effortless distance. And then if you really wanna max out and crush hard on something, you can pick between either of the heavy, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Pick a heavy one if you like heavy. So forehand game, once again, destroyers, we know that we're gonna get a good dependable fade on the end of the flight here. A lot of times when I'm throwing a destroyer for a sidearm shot, I'm really looking for that extra distance on it. Otherwise, I could pick something that's gonna be a little easier, a little slower speed for me to throw. So if I'm picking a forehand shot, if I really want heavy, dependable fade, can't go wrong with the Heimberg. This thing's not gonna carry quite as far, but I know I'm gonna get that hard crash to the right. When it comes to just throwing for a good max distance forehand shot, honestly, I'm really liking the Philo destroyer. This thing being a little bit lighter weight, it's gonna give me a little easier time. It's not quite as overstable, so I'm gonna get that straight finish on it. So that's probably what I'm grabbing if I need to get a good long distance sidearm shot. So we were doing a little distance showcase here. Just had to show off, trying to throw big full power lines. Not really my specialty to begin with, but trying to put a little bit of flex angle and let them really carry and drift. Like I said, these Bradleys, lighter weight disc, they bomb. But truly, when we did our distance test out here, Philo destroyer was the star of the day. This thing carried a little bit extra. I don't know if it's a combination of just getting that sweet spot, but something about these guys, they carried a little bit further than even the Brathwaite. So out of these 5, this is our distance king of the day. So results may vary, but go ahead and try it out for those long bombs. With my Brathwaite destroyer here, I know this thing is great for max distance bombs. Not gonna have to worry that I gotta let off of it at all. I can still rip into this disc nice and hard, even throwing for a maximum distance shot, putting a little bit of flex angle on it and letting it drift over. Still wants to come back, but that light weight is gonna just keep it carrying through the air for a long time. Philo destroyer, this is a great disc if you like something with some nice dome on it, a nice grippy, softer feel to the top of it so that you can really put some thumb pressure into it and get some great grip, long glide out of it, a little straighter flight with less of a heavy fade on it. So really good bomber disc as well. That's gonna be one that I'm probably throwing with some tailwind behind me so I can let it get up high and just keep on driving. Heimberg destroyer, this is one of those workhorse discs, honestly. This is where it's gonna be every time I need to battle a headwind, if I need to know that I'm ripping something full power and then trust the stability, I'm going for this guy right here. Ohn destroyer would probably be the one that would be my most thrown. This is gonna be the one that's gonna give me some good stability, but also has the extra glide, little straight line to it. Henna Destroyer, again, I like that flat feel for my sidearms. Proto Glow is a little more mellow feel for a Halo Star disc, so I know I can trust this for a lot of good sidearm shots with good carry. I like the grip on this, so I'd say if you want the extra grip and you like a flatter top on this, this could be the good way to go. Profile on that is going to be a little bit more mellow as far as the dome goes. Yeah, nice and heavy, so it's dependable. Yeah, so the best part of the little test here, getting to throw all 5 discs side by side, is get to see where each one might find a different role in the bag. So don't necessarily have to go beat up a bunch of different destroyers. You can kind of find the performance you want within the lineup of Tour Series discs here already. So something a little bit more mellow, I'm starting to reach for the Philos or the Bradleys or the Hennas. If you want that good dependable stability on it, we've got the Ohn and the Calvin destroyers that are both going to be good workhorse discs. So pretty much whatever you're looking for out of a distance driver, something within this lineup is probably going to find that sweet spot for you.